Right. Hey, June.
Hi.
Oh my gosh, you look so beautiful. How are you?
Oh, thank you so much. I'm good. How are you?
Everything is good. What is it like week 6 or 7 of this quarantine now?
Oh, day 937. I'm
I,
like, I don't
right.
know.
I'm ready to get back out in the real world. I'm not even gonna lie to you.
It's so crazy. I feel like, I mean, it's gonna be June by the
Right.
time we're really able to kind of go out of our house. I don't even know if June, to be honest, I'm gonna wait a couple of weeks.
Uh-huh.
Even when they say you can go out, I'm gonna just wait and see what happens.
Right.
And then I'll probably, eventually get out there.
I
So,
agree. I mean, so like, what has this quarantine been like for you though?
um, I mean, I think it's been a wide range of emotions. I
Uh-huh.
mean, scary, just crazy, like not knowing what's gonna happen. And then I kind of you know, um, just came to the realization, like, I get to stay at home instead of I have to stay at home.
Right. Yeah.
So, just my heart is out to all of the nurses and the doctors and,
Mhm.
the grocery store workers, everybody who's, really out on the front lines,
Right.
um, helping the world to go around and keeping us all safe. So, once I was like, okay, I get to stay at home. So now what does that mean?
Right.
So just enjoying this time, trying to enjoy it as much as possible, meaning like with my daughter, I have a 10-year-old little girl.
Isabella has grown up way
See?
too
Oh my
fast.
gosh. She's
Jennifer,
like,
that is like your twin.
thank you. She's almost as tall as me. She's gonna be tall. Um,
Uh,
so, just trying to enjoy her, meaning enjoy this time with her that, I don't, we you can't go to work, you can't do anything. So,
yeah,
it's being creative
right.
and just having fun and making sure my mental and my, my heart, my
Mhm.
mentally I'm good. So just not taking in so much news as I was in the beginning.
Right, yeah,
Um,
yeah.
yeah, but doing, like I realized during quarantine how much
Mhm.
stuff I could really do at home.
Right.
I was like, I got a coffee machine. I got,
Even
I could
working out at home. I mean,
home workouts. I'm like, I mean that so I think, there's a lot
yeah.
of good things that, have come out of it, meaning like I can do a lot of this stuff at home, I realized.
Mhm.
So that's been fun. And I've been doing these TikToks with
And I was just
her.
gonna ask you about that. Like, how did Isabella get you to agree to doing this TikTok thing? I mean, we love it though.
Listen, she's like, she's
Uh,
always like, Mom, do a TikTok with me, do a TikTok. And I was like, it's
right.
something that she does with her friends, And I
Mhm.
was like, I don't know how to do that. And so obviously there's no friends here, it's just me and her.
Right.
So I'm like trying to learn the dance. She's like doing all kind of, stuff. And I'm
Right,
like,
yeah, yeah,
what
yeah.
is this? And she's like, Mom, she's like, oh my God, you really can't dance. And I was
But you
like,
trying though. But you trying.
she she thinks it's funny now, but at
uh,
first she was like, what? Like, how? Like, you're so bad. And I was like, that's what I've been saying all
uh,
these years. So that's been like really, really fun actually to do that and play and keeps it, it keeps it light and fun. So
that's what's up. That's what's up.
yeah.
And for those who just now chiming in, I'm on the line with Jennifer Freeman. We may know her. I mean, Jennifer, you kind of, it's like a staple in our minds. I mean, everybody,
Oh,
if you grew up inside the Black community, I mean, we grew up with my wife and kids in front of our face. So we got to see you,
mhm.
go through your teenage years. And I guess I want to ask you, like, how did you get, start off in like acting? Was that something that was just like given to you that was moms and dad was like, you know what? I like this. This is for you. Or was it something that you always wanted to do for yourself?
I think, my my journey is a little bit different. My
Uh-huh.
mom was a single parent. I'm actually from Long Beach. I was born in Long Beach, California.
Right.
So my mom was a full-time nurse. No
Hmm.
one in my family acted at all.
Really?
Um, and I was in the grocery store when I was 9, and I was very talkative, like just talk, 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 because I was the only child, so I just talk. So I was in the grocery store line, and this manager was following my mom around the grocery store, my mom and I, and just like thinking I was so funny. I was just so talkative.
Right.
So she got to the checkout line, asked me, did I, hey, your daughter's so funny. Would you ever consider her being in the business? And I was like, yes, mom, yes, I want to do it. And my mom's like, yeah, right. This lady is totally like not legitimate, whatever. And she actually happened to be like legitimate. I went up to LA, got an agency, started doing commercials and modeling and print. And that's really how I got into the industry. And I think, I think I was just at the right place at the right time. And I like to think that, God had, his hand on my life and was like, this is like really the path that is supposed to be for you. So, I started acting as a hobby because my mom was like, listen, I'm working full time. You need to get good grades. If this is what you want to do, no social life. You need to keep up your grades. And this is like all you're going to do because, auditions after school are like, it's a full time thing, commitment. So I did it. It was something that I really wanted to do. And I think I never really thought about being famous or anything like that. I just like really loved acting, and I loved people and like playing pretend and making people laugh and smile and being silly and, all of those things. And so it turned into a career, which, is a blessing.
So what was it like working on set with Damon Wayans and Tisha Campbell? I believe it was like 5 seasons, right?
Yep, it was 5 seasons. It was like a dream, because it was, obviously you go to auditions and, you hope that you get something like that. Right. But it was really like a dream come true in a lot of different ways because my mom was a single parent, I always desired to have like this family. So now I all of a sudden had like an older brother, a younger sister. I had these 2 amazing parents, and really the set was like a family environment. And I have, grown up watching Damon and Tisha. So I was just like, how is this even? I was like, I just hope that I can, do what I'm supposed to do here. But they were so welcoming, and, Damon was like a dad. He was protective, like he was very protective over me. And Tisha was so great. She just really poured into me and was really such a great example of like a mom, a woman, just, just professional. So it was so much fun, and I never knew what to expect because they were, Damon would always change things last minute, and like, you would have to not laugh in the scene. I mean, he would go off script and we're like, what do we do? But what's funny about, my wife and kids and my character Claire actually is that Claire was supposed to be like this, like, she's a cheerleader, she's popular, most popular girl in school and stuff. But Jennifer, just like I can't really dance, I've always been this way. It's like, so I would like sometimes, come down to the set from my homeschool and I would trip over nothing, like nothing. In front of like the writers and everybody, and I just be like, because for me it was, this is what I do, and they thought it was so funny. So then that's why Damon started writing into the script that like, Claire was clumsy, then she would start falling down the stairs. Like, now I didn't just like fall down the stairs, but it just became like this, like this running joke, of Claire being clumsy, and then, people liked it. So it was fun. So that's how that little element to Claire came into play.
And, now like looking back on the show, like, what would you say the show taught you most about when it comes to Black love and Black love inside of families as a whole?
Just commitment. I think, in the show, they was, it was like the modern Cosby Show or whatever they were trying to, but it was
Yeah.
really just their commitment. They were so committed to their family, and I think that was just such a great message. They were themselves. They were funny. Tisha and Damon's relationship, and just allowing each other to be independent. Jay worked and then she didn't want to work, and he was supportive over that, and just kind of showing that family dynamic. And I think that we're missing that, from TV now, that positive Black love, family representation on TV. So I mean, I'm really glad that I was, able to be a part of that.
Right. And like when we talk about love, I think love is a very strong, topic to talk about in this moment, because I feel like a lot of people are really dealing with the idea of what love is. I mean, you got people that are depressed right now because they're dealing with staying at home, or even, we talk about the statistics and the data of the domestic violence rate are rising all across the country due to like women having to stay at home. So I guess from your experience, what advice would you give women, women and kids who may be living in fear right now at home, and how do you push through and heal and get through that?
Well, first of all, there are domestic violence phone numbers. So I would say for that, like if you really are in a situation like that, please reach out for help. I don't have them right now, but I'm sure we can find them. But I think number one, reach out for help. Like don't sit there and suffer. Don't even as kids. There's a lot of kids that can there's a lot of hotlines for kids to be able to call if you're dealing with suicide and things like that. So I want to say that. But yeah, in this time, I think it's really important to do self-reflection. I think we have so many voices going on, whether it's the news, whether it's, online. There's so much information that's pushed at us that it can be overwhelming. So I think it's really important for us to take the time away from everything and, pour some positivity back into yourself. For me, it's my faith in God, and I pray, do worship, and really check in, like how are you doing today? Because it, can fluctuate on a daily basis depending on what's going on. So I think that is so important, more important. We have to be more intentional during this time to do that more than ever.
That makes sense. And, guys, if you guys have questions for Jennifer Freeman, we'll do a question and answer segment coming up. You can post your questions in the question box at the bottom, and so we can make sure that we see that. But Jennifer, you have a lot of projects coming up. You're in this new show with Ray J.
I am.
Talk about that in your role as Brianna.
Yes, so I have a new project out now. It just came out May 1st, which was Friday, on a new streaming platform called Urban Flix. So you can go to urbanflixtv.com and you can sign up there and get 7 days free. So my new project, Pump, is on there. It's a comedy. It's about famous fitness moguls, kind of Ray J's character, fall from fame. And he has to go back and work at his old gym in Inglewood called Pump. And he goes back to his job and thinks he's kind of win everyone over, but everyone's moved on, including myself, which we have a bit of history. My character, he's technically my ex, and he just kind of up and left when he got famous and never called me again. So he has to come back now to the gym where I am now the boss.
Really?
So it's funny. So he has to try to, win us all back over, which is not easy.
Right.
And, it's just, it's an ensemble cast. So there's McKinley Freeman's also in it, Michael J. White. There's Lynette Tichelle and Corey Grant are the producers. And so it's just, it's a funny, when I read the script, I thought it was so funny because like it's the urban version of The Office,
Right. Yeah.
Because it takes place at a gym. It's like this workplace comedy. And I was like, oh my God, this is actually probably stuff that really goes on at the gym. Like you have McKinley Freeman's character, Jared, and he's like working out, the clients. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
you have Rederick Williams. He plays Howard, who's like the nutritionist who's like hoarding food, and he has like an eating disorder, just crazy. Like, it's so edgy and so fun. And I think it's a perfect time for this to be released because I've watched everything in quarantine. I've watched all the Netflix, all the movies, things I wouldn't have even watched. So I think that this is like, the perfect time to watch. Hey, hopefully you get inspired and want to work out. But it's a fun show. All 6 episodes are available, and I'm really excited and proud of it.
How was it working with Ray J? Was it fun? Is he cool?
Oh my
Ever see
God.
on TV?
Ray J is so fun. He's an amazing actor. He's very, very talented. So I think that people are going to be very surprised because he brought the funny, but he also brought a lot of heart to the character. So even though this is a comedy, it has some really, it has a lot of heart to it too, which I love. And so he's just the director, Corey. He gave us the freedom to really just kind of go for our characters and kind of improv or whatever we wanted to bring to it. And so Ray J totally went for it. So
really?
So like we just had so much fun on set. Just total nonstop laughing. And I think that's gonna really come across when you watch it.
And the film is airing on Urban Flix. Now, for some who maybe never have used Urban Flix, what is Urban Flix offering to their viewers? You know what I mean? That is different than Netflix or different than, Hulu, any other digital streaming place.
So what I love about Urban Flix is it is like a streaming network. It is a streaming platform like a Netflix and those type of things. It's an app. You can go download it. But it wants to really showcase urban, diverse content. Like that's really what this is about. So I think it's really important for us to support, and because that's really what they want to create, original content and be able to showcase us and people who look like us. And so I think that's really important.
Got you. So again, that brand new show is Pump. It is streaming on Urban Flix, featuring Jennifer Freeman, Ray J, and many more. Make sure you guys check that out. We do have a few questions though, Jen.
Okay.
All right. So Lovely Big O is asking, do you still keep in contact with the cast members of My Wife and Kids?
Yes, I do. I still keep in contact with the cast members. I talk to Tisha like all the time. So she's like, I mean, I know she played my mom, but she's more of like a really close friend of mine. So we always talk. But yeah, like we still keep in contact. I talk to Parker. She's like a grown woman. I can't believe it. And she is gorgeous. Yeah.
Okay. Good stuff. Good stuff. How about when will there be a You Got Served 2? Everybody loved you in that first movie, You Got Served. Oh my God.
Thank you. Thank you.
Went one in the box office.
Yes, it was #1. I remember that. Like, because we just wanted to do it and we wanted to have fun. I mean, I think you always want a movie to do well and do #1, but I think we just didn't expect that, and it was like incredible. So I would love to do a You Got Served 2. I think you guys should do a petition. I am all for it. I don't know.
Listen, I can start the petition
where everybody stands with getting everyone together. So that's another story. I think I don't know.
Okay. Hey, we got another one. Let's see. Why Jennifer don't have a Snapchat account to chat with fans? We had so many people asking about Snapchat.
You know what?
Daily life.
I could do a Snapchat. I just figured out how to do these lives. Really, in quarantine, I just didn't even know. Bella, my daughter had to show me how to do a live one day, and it was awful. I was like,
but Jen, you still got like your millennial in you, though. What you mean?
Well, I just didn't do it. I was, I didn't get it. So I could do that. I could do a Snapchat.
Okay, cool.
Okay,
what's your favorite? I'm sorry. Go ahead.
What's my favorite role that I've ever played in? I mean, that would be really hard. I think My Wife and Kids was so much fun because I really like I got to do physical comedy,
Yeah.
and it like I just really got to have a lot of fun with that. I think this show that I just did, Pump,
Hmm.
is really fun because Brianna is a strong, like, even though it's a comedy, everybody
Right.
else is the crazy people. I'm more of like the straight guy, I'm the voice
Mhm.
of reason, and Brianna's like a no nonsense, like cut it out, like she's very like just doesn't take BS.
Right.
So I think that was it's like the opposite of what I usually play, and
Mhm.
so that was fun too.
So
So
would you say that like playing in like a scripted series is better than the whole ab lib side, or would you rather ab lib and do your thing like improv?
um I think a little bit of both.
Uh-huh.
Like, I mean, I think that's what we did on My Wife and Kids. Like, there
Right.
was a script, and we did, with a network like ABC, you have
Yeah.
to kind of stick to the script because they're really, but we got to, just, we got to just have fun and be kind of free and, kind of go with the, like,
Yeah.
um, you know, the response on what people were, I like going on the response of what people are reacting to,
Right.
So, I don't know. That's a hard
Uh-huh.
question.
And this next question, Jen, I was going to ask you this question myself, but it came in. Would you ever do a reality TV show with you and your family?
You know, that's a very interesting question. I think
Uh-huh.
I would do a reality TV show, but
Okay.
I would just want it to stay positive, and I don't know if there's any reality TV show that really does focus on the positive because
Yeah.
people like scandal and
Mhm.
like drama. And so I feel like I don't know if that would be even possible. But yeah, I would totally do it.
And we're gonna grab one more question, then we're gonna keep moving. I think this is pretty funny. Does people still call you Claire?
Yes. Oh my gosh.
They.
Everywhere I go, people are like, Claire? Claire, is that
How do
you?
you feel about that though?
I think it's funny.
Uh,
You know what's really funny about that is
right.
when Bella was like 5,
Hmm.
people would come up to me and ask me for a picture and stuff, but people started calling me Claire, and
Hmm.
Bella was like, "Your name is not Claire. Why are they calling you?"
I can imagine that as a little kid looking at you
And
like, no, that's not my
she
mommy's
was
name.
so mad, like, tell them to stop. That's not your name. And I was
Uh,
like, and because she didn't know,
right.
like TV, like she didn't know what the show was or anything. So I just thought that was so funny. So people now, she's used to it, but that reaction, I just will never forget. But I don't think it doesn't bother me at all. I think it's really awesome to see, like, a lot of the fans I have, like I can see people
Right.
from Brazil. Hi, Brazil. I have some amazing fans that, like, from Brazil, or like I went to Italy and
Yeah.
France last year, and I didn't know what they were saying, but all I heard was Claire. We love you, Claire. And I was like, oh my God, like, just to know that the show has had an impact in that way, and it still has an impact all these years later.
It still resonates. I mean, because the show was like timeless comedy. I mean,
Yeah. And it
we,
was a positive message, like you said,
mhm.
family, black family.
Right.
So it's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, Jennifer, I kind of want to switch gears a little bit because I
Okay.
know that you have been married before. And,
Yes.
I'm sure that you had your own reasons for getting a divorce. But I guess my question would be, do you ever see yourself getting married again? And if so, what are you looking for in a husband or a partner? Is
Okay,
there any type of
now.
requirement?
Yes. Okay, I
uh,
am divorced. I would love to get married to the
mm,
right person. I'm in no rush for that right person.
yeah.
What am I looking for? I think I'm looking for a good heart. I want
Mhm.
someone who's really got a relationship with God on their own. Like, not just says they have a relationship with God
Yeah.
and then you go to church once and then they never hear about it again. You know what I mean? Like,
Right, right.
I really want that's really important to me. So I want that to be important to the person that I'm dating.
Hmm.
and also just someone who's really secure in themselves, you
Right.
know, and
Yeah.
okay with me shining, and really supportive of you know, whatever things I'm passionate about, and someone who's fun and
Yeah.
funny, because I'm not boring. So
I feel
and I
you.
don't want to date anyone boring. So I think those are some qualities that, I mean, there's other things, but those are kind of like main things.
Does he has to be an industry guy, or he can be a regular guy as well?
No, it can be anybody. I
Uh-huh.
mean, like I don't have like actor, or just like, I think it's really about the person.
Hmm. I
Yeah.
got you.
Hmm.
And recently I also read too, Jen, that you were practicing celibacy during the COVID-19 outbreak, but even before that as well. And I guess, what made you want to shut down the intimacy in your life and kind of focus on yourself, and how valuable is that to you? And what advice
Yeah.
would you give to other people that's in the quarantine right now that, you know what I mean, is trying to dibble and dabble every now and then, but, got to hold themselves?
Yeah, I actually I went on a journey
Uh-huh.
of just like wanting to really understand myself and loving myself.
Yeah.
And so in that, I was like, I don't want to date anyone. I really
Uh-huh.
want to, you know, like date myself. I really want to be whole, right?
Yeah.
So I didn't want to do that. So I decided, you know, I wasn't going to date anyone, look at anyone, and just kind of really get to the core of some issues that I felt like I was having. I kind of came to a place where I was just numb. You know, I had been through so many things in life, and I didn't
Yeah.
understand like why I was numb, and why I didn't love myself, why I was destructive or self-destructive, just all of these different things. And so I went on a journey to do that, and so celibacy was a part of that. Now I didn't
Right.
expect to I didn't give it a time period. It was
Yeah.
just something, and now it's been kind of like a 9, almost 10 year situation here.
Yeah.
Which it doesn't I feel really I mean, it's not a big deal or an issue or anything. I feel like I've healed so much because I've really taken the time to do that work on myself. And so even in that, I wanted
Right.
to write a devotional about kind of
Really?
my journey and just wanting to help other girls or other women. It's a book. So it's on Amazon. It's called Journey to Loving Yourself. And it's a 21-day devotional. And it's 3 chapters: self-image, self-esteem, and self-worth. And I kind of talk about each day, like different aspects of myself on healing and how I overcame certain things. And I give scriptures.
Right.
And faith was a big part of my journey back to loving myself. So I wanted to be able to have that as a resource to be able to give that like that the things that I overcame to the next person, because I think like God doesn't just bring you through things for you to be like, okay,
Yeah.
that's great. You know, I think it's to pass those keys on to the next person so they can see that, wow, that person overcame that, so I can overcome that too. And that was the same for me in my story. So I saw that other people was like, well, I don't have to stay like this. I don't have to stay broken or numb or, you know, in this place, that there is like freedom and healing for me. So
you say that it's been like 9 to 10 years. What has that process been like? And has it been easy? Like, I'm sure now is pretty much like, normal, but I'm sure that first 6 months to a year was like, it was a little rocky.
You know, I think that it's great because number one, when you take that equation out of, especially when you're dating, you can see people from a mile away. So,
and let me tell you something too. Whenever you are dating, if you don't cross that line, it's like, listen,
because when you take
physicality
out of it, out of the equation, I mean, you have to talk. You're forced to get to know the other person. You're forced to see the red flags and the signs, and you can see all of it clear. And so I think that saved me a lot. You know, just I can see someone, I'm like, okay, you know? Or I went on a date and that's all the guy talked about is like, I guess he looked me up and he saw that I did an interview about that and he wanted to know about that. And I was like, okay, so
Right.
this isn't gonna work out, you know, because I know what you
Yeah.
want. So it's like it's I think it's great. I mean, I'm doing this for myself, you know, and hopefully the guy that I meet, you know, he'll be on the same journey for himself too. So
Ooh. What advice would you give to that young man or that young lady who, you know, may be saying, I want to go through that process as well and do it for me, but it's hard? What would you say?
it is hard. I think just like actually that like just admitting that, yeah, this is hard, but I again, self-love, like you like, if you're giving yourself away to all these people, you know what I mean? Like you have to love yourself. And
Yeah.
so that was for me more important than anything else, you know, is to love myself. And so that's just what I focused on, like why I'm even doing this in the first place, you know. And so I would encourage whoever is, you know, battling that, it is hard, it is tough, but reminding yourself daily of why you're doing this, you know, for you.
Yeah, makes sense. Jennifer, you gotta start a YouTube channel, because I'm sure there's so many other women, men too, that would love to like follow this journey.
Thank
For real,
you.
for real.
Actually, since you're saying that, I actually am launching a YouTube channel this week. I am.
Okay, that's what's up.
I've kind of been waiting to watch it. It's something that I've really been wanting to do because I have so many things that I want to say, talk about. And also I really want to be able to connect with my fans on a different, like not just on Instagram and comments and stuff. So I'm launching that this week. I'm not sure if it's like Thursday or Friday, but if you go to my Instagram page and follow me at msjen with one N Freeman, you'll be able to know when I'm gonna launch that. So,
and Jen, something that you should do, YouTube has like this cool feature where you can go live on YouTube now. So it's kind of like Facebook or Instagram, but you can also have titles at the bottom and bring in like your fans to come in and talk to you and do like a question and answer. So I think it'd be really cool. And so many people have been making so much money off of YouTube during this quarantine because everybody's just on their phone and, you know, computer screens all day anyways.
Everybody is just, everybody's at home, you know, and like we're tired of, you know, I mean, there's only so much content on TV, you know. So I think we're all itching to see something new, and so I'm excited about launching, and I think that this is, you know, it's a great time. I've been wanting to do it, so now is the time.
What is next for Jennifer Freeman? So we got the show out right now. We have the book that's on Amazon, the YouTube channel that's starting. Are we still going to see you in TikTok videos with Isabella?
There will definitely be more TikTok videos. But what's next is I really do want to share more of this message, like what I talked to you about, you know, about self-love and about my journey. So I really want to open up that conversation more because that's something that I really am passionate about. And helping girls just like restoring our identity. You know, I think there's so many there's so many different things, like especially with social media now, that tear down and break us down, and trolls, and you know, just all kind of you know, just stuff. And so I just want to be a voice and really pour back into girls and kind of share my story and how God has restored me. So that is next. I also have a Christmas movie that is coming out on BT this Christmas. It's actually not that far away now because we're almost in June. So
and Christmas will be here before you know
Christmas will be here. I love Christmas movies. It's actually my favorite time to watch TV, all the Christmas movies. So this one is really cool.
And who's starring in it?
And it's called The Business of Christmas.
Okay.
So Lawrence Robinson plays my brother, and the new from Fresh Prince, the new Aunt Viv is playing my mom.
Okay.
So it's a really great cast, and it was fun. We did it right before quarantine. So that was interesting. It was a very interesting time on set, but yeah, so there's that, and I have some other projects that are coming out, but not sure timing wise,
Mm-hmm.
you know.
Good stuff.
um,
Well, I
yeah,
did see a lot of questions coming in at the bottom. I was trying to read through some of the questions. I know they were
I
posted
know
some.
it's so hard
Well,
for me to read and
uh,
like talk at the question, so I have to like do one or the other.
I'm looking through. Okay, I see it.
Oh, hey, JC, I see you
Oh
on
no.
there. Oh, I don't know.
What do you do with your days during this quarantine or during
Oh,
this
what do I do?
confinement?
So what do I do with my days?
Uh,
In the morning, I do a workout. I don't care what it is. That's something that I do for myself.
yeah.
Not just to
How do you stay
stay
so
physical.
consistent with that, Jim? Because I ain't even gonna lie, like I'll go to the gym like a 3 days consistent, and then like I just stop and I won't go again until my trainer call me and get on Zoom, and it's like it's getting
But
hard
you
as
have
hell
no
out here.
excuse now because you're at home.
I know, but like sometimes being in the bed is more comfortable than coming up to the studio. Yeah, I'm just saying. But I
You know
will say
what? I
what?
think for me, it's not just about being physical. Like,
Yeah.
I think even more now, I'm more intentional because getting that stress out, like, and getting those endorphins going since we're not out walking around and kind of being
Mm-hmm.
more active. Like, I'm like, okay, I got to get moving because it just sets up my whole day and makes me feel better
Yeah.
mentally, emotionally, just everything.
So,
So, and there's so many different workouts, you can do. They're on YouTube, like all these, there's so many different things, but
uh,
really doing that. I've been doing homeschool.
okay. What has that
Like,
been like being an at-home teacher? I mean, because a lot of parents has literally gotten a new job within like 4 weeks, and now they're at home being a teacher every single day. Some parents say it's driving them crazy because they don't understand the algebra and all that, but some parents are getting through.
it is crazy. I think it's depending on what type of child you have. My
Uh,
my daughter is just, she's by herself. Like
yeah.
my daughter is an extrovert to
Mm-hmm.
the max. Like, so we realized that she's like her mom. So she loves people. She loved going to school so she
Right.
could be with her friends, So now it's like, she's like, I don't want to do school. There's no people here. It's like, what?
Yeah.
It just overnight, it just went from, like they were at school and then they weren't, so it's crazy. I don't like it. It's not for me. Homeschool is not for the both of us. That's what we
Right.
realized.
I feel you on that, Jen. They wanted me to take the comments off of your face, so I did.
Oh,
But while I'm doing that though, could y'all take a picture of us real quick and DM it to me before we get
okay.
off of here? All right, you ready? All right, ready? All right, y'all shoot that to my DM so I can post it.
Yes.
Jennifer, one more question, and then we're
Okay.
gonna get out of here because someone is asking, and I want to know this too because you spoke about your relationship with God a lot throughout the conversation. But the last question is your favorite Bible verse.
Oh, my favorite. You catching me off guard. You catching me off guard here.
Sorry.
I don't know. There's a verse. I'm just forgetting it right now. Hold on. Because I have it right here. Open your mouth for the mute, for the rights of all who are unfortunate and defenseless. Proverbs 31:8. So that's like my favorite one because I feel like that's kind of my message. Like, it's open, tell your testimony, open your mouths for the people who can't, do it maybe themselves. And so that's just really my heart. So anyway, yeah, that's.
Jennifer, I have felt more and more in love with you and what you do as a person. I'm so serious. Like, I didn't mean to get too deep inside your personal business, but I feel like I've been able to get to know you better, even your fans too. You know what I mean?
Thank you so much.
This is really fun. So we'll definitely be watching you in your brand new show, Pump.
Yes.
That is on the
on Urban Flix TV.
Urban Flix.
Pump, go catch it now. All 6 episodes. Sign up, 7 days free. So nothing. Yes.
And hopefully, Jennifer, we'll be catching you on YouTube, Snapchat, or somebody there real soon.
Yes, we will. Okay. You can catch me on YouTube, Snapchat, and just follow me on MS Jen Freeman so that you can stay updated for like when I'm gonna launch everything.
Got you. Jennifer, thank you so much for chiming in with us. We appreciate your time and stay safe during this quarantine.
Okay, you too. Thank you.
All righty.
Bye.
All right, bye.